What is the karma theory? There is a school of thought that तो उसमें कहावत नहीं होती है, a freedom fighter is the same person for one country and for the other country he is a terrorist.
Terrorist, correct. So what is building up my karma is not what I'm saying to you. My intentions behind. Karmas are carried on from lifetimes to lifetimes. You don't know how many lifetimes you've already lived, that you're here as a human being. Spirituality is that within that framework that has been given to me by my parents, maybe your wife, your children, your in-laws, your boss, society, whoever is your peer group, in between that framework, how you always strive and thrive to become a better human being is what is spirituality. You would see that feminism in you sometimes when you're more loving and caring towards your spouse, when you're more loving and caring towards your children, the feminine side too. Sometimes it erupts. The masculinity is always there when you're trying to be more protective, you're trying to earn the finance for the house, So we all have that Shiva and Shakti inside us.
I think I wanted to have this candid conversation with you to really understand, because you've seen yourself transform and adopt to a new beginning, new change. And उससे आपको अपने life में भी you've seen those changes. And I think that is the resurrection to let them theory है. That
See what we, yeah. That's why I'm more inclined towards all these things, because everything is looking for a change. Everything is like an, I want to explore more about myself. I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to do more. Know and do both. Not just know more, do also. Like, it's sometimes you're always busy. You understand? Your mind is always busy in self-progress. That's the beauty of every time you have a transition in life.
So is this age related? What is this? So let me ask you a direct question. What is spirituality in your terms?
See, I'll tell you. There are two things. One is I'm living my life in a way, a kind of a manner. I'm just going. And there is a certain social framework which has been given to me, and I need to operate as per that framework. Correct? Now, spirituality is that within that framework that has been given to me by my parents, maybe your wife, your children, your in-laws, your boss, society, whoever is your peer group, in between that framework, how you always strive and thrive to become a better human being is what is spirituality. That means how I continuously keep self-reflecting, keep, looking inward and wanting to change myself, still fitting in that framework. That is what spirituality is. Now, religion is the day I leave that framework, I'm out of that framework, and now I'm following a set pattern or a path, which is Hinduism, Buddhism, or maybe Sikhism, any kind of religion path, Muslim, whatever I want to follow, but I'm out of that framework of the society. Within that framework, self-reflecting, still trying to thrive in that framework and moving forward by correcting myself every time. But you have to be, there's a very thin line between that. You cannot just keep correcting yourself even when you're right. You have to correct when you know you're wrong. And we all know when we're doing wrong. We all know. Some are in acceptance to that, some are always in denial. So spirituality is self-reflection. Always. That's spirituality. Inward. Religion is you have you are out of the social framework and then you just follow a path which is probably either created by gurus or self-created or, there are certain set rules. Spirituality has no rules. You can modify yourself as you want.
So it's a learning curve.
It's a beautiful curve. I think a lot of people misinterpret spirituality by भगवान का नाम ले लो, दर्शन कर लो, यहाँ चले जाओ, वहाँ चले जाओ. No, that's not spirituality. मैं भगवान के तो जा रही हूँ. But when I come back home, I'm the same evil self. That's not spirituality. That's religion. That's religion. Muslim, sorry, is a religion. I'll kill n number of people, I gain Allah. That's religion. You know? शिवलिंग की एक तरह से पूजा करनी, यज्ञ कराने, हवन करने, that's religion. Sanatan Dharma is a religion. Right? It's not a philosophy. Spirituality is self-reflection. Yoga is one form of spirituality, is a form of spirituality which helps you to nurture your own self and self-reflect inwards.
And what is faith?
Faith is again guidelines given to you.
Okay.
Guidelines which are given to you. And of course, faith has again, I think, two different perspectives. One is guidelines which are given to you, and two is your belief, your hope. Faith always is governed by hope. You know, it's not naked faith. It's always governed by hope. When I go to a temple, you know, I want to ask something from God. I have faith in Him. He'll do it for me. But faith is not free of cost. It's not free of charge. You have to be spiritual to be faithful. You know, I cannot just go to God and tell God that, okay, can you help me with this? But then I'm not spiritual. That I'm not self-reflecting. So God, and between God and you, there is again give and take. You do good karmas, that's spiritual. You self-reflect, you change yourself, you change your habits, your behavior patterns, your thinking, you create a karma. Then God gives you something in return for your good karmas. That's faith. That develops faith. Okay, I did this, you've given me this, I have faith in you now. You see? It's like that.
So what is the karma theory? You know, there is a school of thought that, you know, we have just witnessed, a war between two countries, है ना? तो उसमें कहावत नहीं होती है, a freedom fighter is the same person for one country and for the other country he is a terrorist.
Terrorist, correct.
Right? But उसकी कर्मा क्या है फिर वो?
See, karmas are never from one lifetime. Karmas are carried on from lifetimes to lifetimes. You don't know how many lifetimes you've already lived, that you're here as a human being. And you really don't know how many are still pending. Right? So karma is being present to the one you're living. What has happened, do I know? I don't know. What's going to happen, do I know? No, I don't. Right? But yeah, there's a hope that I must have done something wrong in my last lifetime, that I am having the repercussions, the effects of that in this lifetime. Correct? That could also be from a bad karma perspective or a good karma perspective. I must have done something really good that I'm getting the effects, good effects of that in this lifetime. You understand? So now it's my responsibility in this lifetime, which tomorrow will become my past lifetime. You know, tomorrow means future will become my past lifetime, that I create a good karma. So where am I right now in my present? What do I need to fix my present? Right? How will I fix my present? By always owning up to the fact that anytime something wrong goes in my life, I take onus of it, that I must have done this in my last lifetime. Hence, I'm having the repercussions or the effects in this lifetime. Now, if I want to move on to the next lifetime and not have the same effects, I need to fix it right now. I need to eliminate that wrong karma in this lifetime. Now, wrong karma is not wrong action only, alone. Wrong karma is wrong thinking. Wrong intention is wrong karma. Of course, speaking words are a part of it, but words are always excused because words are not always your intentions. Today, right now, what I'm saying, maybe I don't intend all that. So words are not 100% your intentions. Words are culmination of different thoughts which keep persisting in you as per the situation, as per your all. So we have different states in our mind. You know, I can be a good state, I can be a bad state, I can be a devilish state, I can be a humanitarian state, I can be a state of Buddha. You know, so I have different moods. So words are a culmination of that. But what you're thinking, what your intentions are, that's the real karma. You know, you probably I just meet you and I say, oh, you know, I wish you well. But in my heart, I'm thinking, get lost. May the worst happen with you. So what is building up my karma is not what I'm saying to you. My intentions behind. That's correct.
And what is past life regression?
So past life regression is, regression is just a practice. It's a practice that you go back. But everything again boils down to the same fact that you need to, what is happening to you right now. You know, for example, I'll give you a small example. Had you ever thought that you'll get into this podcast or you'll start doing all this? Had you ever planned? No, never, right? Now tell me one thing. Can you imagine your life without doing a podcast now in the near future? No, you cannot, right? Why? I'll tell you. Because talking, communication, you know, is probably giving a lot of solace to people who come and meet you, and of course to you also. And in that whole process, maybe you're trying to change a lot in yourself. When you meet new people, you connect with new people, right? That's your karma now. You might have lacked a lot of communication or a lot of, connection with people in your past lifetime. That you're fixing it in this lifetime. And on this lifetime, your future lifetime depends. However you're going to be born tomorrow. You don't know. So, karma sometimes is intentional, sometimes is unintentional. When I became a makeup artist, I was just thinking about my own self. That I want to, just have a profession, or I just want to build up something for myself. But today when I'm in this profession for so many years, and I've realized one thing, the kind of people I'm meeting through this work and this profession is helping me become better. And now this profession is a mission. It got converted into a mission. The mission is not only to beautify the face of a person, you know, in those 2-3 hours to beautify the soul of the person such that I have a connection with them. I connect with them. So maybe it was just one way of me connecting to people. I must have hurt a lot of people in my last lifetime, you know, that I am given this responsibility. So there are a lot of times when people are given a responsibility but they're not aware of it. Or they're always in denial. But this, जो भी आप आज काम कर रहे हो, आपके पास्ट लाइफ टाइम का या जो भी आपके साथ अब हो रहा है, आपके पास्ट लाइफ टाइम के रिजल्ट्स है जो आप पिछले लाइफ टाइम में करके आए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई एम नॉट मे बी गेटिंग अलोंग with a friend, or maybe that friend is not behaving nicely with me. Maybe she's a friend, but then again she's not consistent with me. She's rude with me, or maybe she's indifferent with me. Maybe she's very nice to me in front of public, but maybe she's very mean to me when we are one-on-one with each other, right? Instead of sitting and blaming her that, oh, she's doing this with me, she's like this with me, the day I sit and self-reflect that I must have done this to somebody else in my last lifetime, that I am getting the results of this now, how my friend is behaving with me, you know, I will heal quickly. I'll forget that friend quickly. I will reflect on becoming a much better person to her than becoming a mean person to her that, okay, tit for tat. You're doing this with me, I'm going to do the same with you, right? You forgive quickly. You understand better, you know. you move on better, and then you finish that karma. Now, when I behave nicely with that friend, haven't I finished that karma? Right? But if I continue being mean to that friend and I'm not self-reflecting, I will carry this karma na again in the next lifetime. So anybody you see, people who are on drugs, they are also going through the karma. They must have really done wrong. Terrorist. Becoming a terrorist is a culmination of wrong karmas in your past lifetime. And see, you're doing more bad karmas in this lifetime. You think they will even anyways get Allah? Not in the next 10 lifetimes they're going to get that. So karma is very, very serious. I think everybody should take karma really seriously, honestly. At least I have taken karma very, very seriously. There is anger, because of course anger is one, it's a life state. Life state always comes as per your situations. But how I handle my anger, how I'm dealing with my anger now, how I'm making sure that when I'm angry, I don't hurt you, is my karma. I am angry right now, but I'm not hurting you. I'm not creating any karma with you, right? I'm not creating any negative karma. And when I'm angry, if I self-reflect and I keep quiet and then I don't react at all, don't you think I'm creating a good karma? So when after maybe 10 days, 15 days or a month, do you think anybody would have the power to angry me? Nobody. Very simple. Spirituality, karma, everything has to do with you.
When was that moment in life when you realized that this is where you need to evolve into? होता है ना कोई तो chapter आते हैं, because that is what I'm trying to look at, and probably the audience would also want to understand that हाँ यार, these are the moments जो सबके life में आते हैं where this is the time that they should realize that they need to evolve.
There was a time when I was somebody who was very, I don't know from where it came. Again, I would say it must be some past life karma only. I was somebody who was I was always in that hyper state, always trying to prove myself, always trying to, I now understand all that very differently. So every human, so let's go a little to spirituality now here. Every human being has a Shiva and a Shakti inside them. That's a feminine power and a male power. We all have that. You would see that feminism in you sometimes when you're more loving and caring towards your spouse. When you're more loving and caring towards your children, the feminine side too sometimes it erupts. The masculinity is always there when you're trying to be more protective. You're trying to earn the finance for the house, So we all have that Shiva and Shakti inside us. For most of my life, I have lived that Shiva bit inside me, being the man, always aggressive, making sure that I have an opinion, making sure that I'm loud and clear, not taking any kind of injustice. And kisi koi chhed bhi deta tha to I would go and hit them, It was like that.
Reactive.
So what I was really doing, I was protecting my feminine energy, always. Guarding myself, Always trying to be the man, myself. Then came a time when I got married. I had a child, when I first had my daughter. Then came a time when I realized that we cannot be two masculine people living in the same house. Me and my husband. We cannot be that. So there was a friction, right? And that was a time when I actually encountered Buddhism as a practice in 2009. One of my friends, and it was a very casual thing. So now I would say that was meant to happen again because of my karma. I must have done some good karmas in my last lifetime that I encountered the practice. How many people encounter any kind of spiritual practice or a philosophy in life They can, really hold it like a rope and keep climbing. Not many, right? But I was one of them. So I must have done something good to have encountered that also. So when I encountered Buddhism as a practice, I started self-reflecting. I started, not pointing the fingers towards people like this. It became like this, that it's me every time. That was a time when I probably started simmering down a little and let my feminine energy come out. I still struggle between my masculine and my feminine energy a lot. So that's why probably people understand that, oh, she's tough. But no, I'm not tough on you. I'm tough on myself. So I have had an understanding of that. And if anytime anybody projects that I have a viewpoint, I have an opinion, or I am very clear in my communication. Or I'm protecting my children for that matter, or anybody. Because I've understood the philosophy of Shiva and Shakti, I know my masculine energy is now coming out. But I also know when to regress that energy and to progress the feminine energy inside. So I think this transition came through this channel. That's when I started learning a lot about my own self. And Buddhism was my step one. So for 14 years, religiously, I was in this practice. I tried changing the environment outside and I tried changing the environment inside also. But then again, everything has a shelf life. So I think this philosophy had a shelf life till one day I went to Banaras. Now, anybody asking, if a layman will come and ask me, अच्छा ये तो पहले Buddhism करती थी, अब ये शिव को मानने लगी, she's not stable. No, I am very stable. It was my time to elevate from one practice to another practice. It was a bigger leap.
A different energy source.
Energy source altogether, right? I cannot be doing the same job for all my life. Once I'm more experienced, I would want to use my experience for higher positions. So from Buddhism, the transition to Shiva has been beautiful. Now imagine for 14 years, I've understood myself. I've understood how I have to take charge of my own self. Right? Now, from that, it's time to elevate. It's time to elevate that I have all energies inside me. Which energy has to come out well? Right? Though there is a direct correlation between Buddhism and this practice today, there are no different practices there, because Shiva is also talking about your karma. He's also saying good deeds. Buddhism also said karma. So basically, all practices in the entire universe is revolving around the, concept of law of cause and effect. Even science is on that. There's a cause and effect. You take two batteries, you join them with a glass of water. So there is plus and there is minus. There is plus plus, there is minus minus. So there is a cause and then you have the effect, right? So if I'll put acid in water, what will happen? I did a cause and the effect was created. If I'll put matchstick on a petrol, the fire will bloom, right? So I created the cause and the effect will come. I can't expect, oh, no fire. So when you understand the theory of cause and effect, you will know one thing. Whatever you practice, whether you pick up Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you read that. You pick up the Bible, you read that. You pick up the Gita, you read that. You pick up any philosophy in life. Even when you sit and chant Om Namah Shivaya, Hanuman Chalisa, everything has one law of cause and effect. You hurt me, the universe will hurt you back. It will. If not today, maybe after 10 years. It will. So, I think this was just an elevation of my practice. To understand myself better, and to become a better human being altogether.
So if you have to give one tip to everyone who wants to, elevate, what is that moment or what is that calling, or kabhi life mein na, what is that step which they should keep in mind कि हाँ अभी I should elevate, क्योंकि people are looking for such instances but they are unable to realize अच्छा this is what it actually wants me to do. So how will you highlight that for people?
Pain. We retaliate pain. We don't absorb pain. Tell me one thing, if I'm pregnant and I go for a delivery, pain is happening. Can I say I will not give birth? Can I really say that? It's paining.
Too late.
Correct? Can I say that? How will I get relieved of that pain? Once I give birth. Once the baby is out of me. Only then I'm relieved of the pain. Right? Can I say, okay, please, seal my vagina, seal my uterus. I'm not giving birth to this baby because it's paining.
So that is not possible.
So the pain is going to subside in me and even the baby will die. You understand? The same way, when you want to become a better person, pain is your friend. Don't fear your friend. I have now, after my 40s, I've understood one thing, that there's a reason we all have pain. Pain wants us to change. We are not changing. We are not welcoming that pain. We are just pushing the pain back that, oh, I can't take you, I can't take you, I can't take you. The day you start accepting it, that, okay, come, I'm ready to take the pain. When you take the pain, along with that pain, you have to take the learning also. What is the universe trying to teach me right now? And 200% there's always something behind every pain that the universe is trying to take and wanting you to change in. We are resilient to that. We don't want to change. The day you accept it, the day you say yes, ये गड़बड़ है मेरे अंदर. I am not going to be in denial now. I'm going to accept it. And I'm going to change myself. See, the process of change is very painful. I've seen that in me. For example, I'll be very honest to you. Now I'll tell you how change happens. I'll just give you a small example. So always the masculine energy was out. And I always thought that gali dena is cool. It's cool. And I always would project my masculinity by
Abusing.
Like just calling you anything. And not calling you only, just in my normal general sentence.
Yeah. It released some dopamine.
It released some dopamine in me. And I used to just say it.
Yeah.
Without even realizing
Cause and effect.
What karma am I creating with that? I might not be abusing you, but a bad word out of my mouth. Gali hai to ek galat karma, because any kind of abuse is relating to some character in my life. Whether it's the mother or the sister or the father or the son or the whoever, the daughter. You understand? Kuch karma to I create kar rahi thi, correct? And not realizing कि अच्छा ये क्यों गलत हुआ मेरे साथ, ऐसे क्यों हुआ मेरे साथ, ये क्यों गलत हुआ मेरे साथ और ये क्यों गलत हुआ. Now Buddhism for years has helped me to self-reflect. Now I understood the practice of self-reflecting, correct? But I was again lost. क्योंकि self-reflecting तो हो रही है लेकिन ये नहीं समझ आ रहा मैं गलत क्या कर रही हूँ. Because on the surface of it सब अच्छा लग रहा था कि मैं तो better हो रही हूँ, मैं तो ठीक हो रही हूँ, मैं तो ये हो रही हूँ, मैं तो वो हो रही हूँ. So this time when I went to Banaras, I was just sitting ऐसी शाम को and I was self-reflecting because I was alone. So I was self-reflecting क्या गलत हो रहा है, क्या गलत हो रहा है, क्या ठीक नहीं हो रहा जो मेरा इस पे लाइफ के इस फेयर में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है और इस फेयर में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, इस फेयर में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. The deeper you go, now that's the beauty of Shiva that comes in. You start talking to him. I talked to Bhairabnath today. You know, I don't know, it might look very stupid to a lot of people, but I can. Not because of that, because my faith has become so strong in Bhairabnath that I can talk to him and he can help me in self-reflecting more, discover more about myself, right? So I was just sitting one day in the evening in my room and I was thinking, क्या हो रहा है, कैसे ठीक करूँ, ये भी ठीक कर लिया अपने बारे में, ये भी कर लिया, ये भी कर लिया, ये भी कर लिया. Suddenly there is a thought. अच्छा, ये बंद करके देखती हूँ.
And you found something which could be triggering.
I just realized that, yeah, this is it. People spend their lifetime discovering what is going wrong. Any spiritual practice will help you discover it like this. That's the beauty of a spiritual practice.
So this is where you nailed it.
Then I just went. One day I just went in the evening and I just sat in front of a shivling and I prayed that I'm not going to abuse. Even generally. No, I will not. Because maybe it's cool to me, but maybe it's not cool to the person in front of me. I'm hurting the person. Unknowingly. Most of the times unknowingly, because I'll be very honest. Overall, there is no malice in my heart. Overall, I don't wish bad to anybody. I can never, because I fear my karma so much. But through my words I was, and I just promised myself that I'm not going to abuse, no matter what.
And there's a certain energy when we speak, no?
Yeah.
So that is, वो तो transfer हो ही रही है.
Correct? Now you're back in your own city and you again meeting people, talking to people, moving around and all that. I imagine for somebody who's to just at the drop of a hat just say any word. Now being present to that situation and not uttering that mean, wrong word. Imagine that put so much of pressure on you, on your whole body. You know? That, like you just know.
Curtail.
And you are practicing this every minute. Not every 10 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour or 1 hour. You're practicing it every minute. Like, you know, that was painful. That put a lot of pressure also. But I was happy because I was doing it for myself. And believe you me, I went to Banaras on 28th of February. Yeah, which is Mahakumbh. Mahashivratri. I was there. It's been having 2 months now.
We met on the way.
You remember?
Yeah.
So it's been 2 months now. Not one wrong word has been uttered by me so far. But it's a continuous practice now. For whatever number of years I'm left with, it has to be a continuous practice. You know, I'm practicing this with my children. I'm practicing this with my entire everybody I meet in my environment, you know. And it's painful, it's difficult, because I am now, imagine for somebody, I'm 42, for so many years, for 42, I'm not abusing since I was in college.
Say 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years. For somebody who's talking in an A style from 25 years, you know, and I have to now change my style of talking, just the basic thing.
Communication,
basic thing, right? And I don't know how many people will resonate with this. It puts a lot of pressure on your mind.
Yeah. No, yeah, I understand.
To be present to this and not doing it.
Change the entire muscle memory.
Yeah. It's like I have to change my entire way of talking. It might sound very funny to some people that, you know, क्या है, गाली देना तो बंद करना है.
Yeah. Seems simple, but it has been in practice for so many years. It'll take a while,
Correct?
but the effort will
The
decide
effort
that.
is painful.
Yeah.
So, coming back to your point, that what is that point of change in your life?
Pain.
Is always pain. Always pain. We all need to discover our painful areas. It's just that we all are in denial. Every human being is in denial. You understand? I am going in a public place. I am going for a party. And I will not be accepted till the time I gossip about X number of people. Knowing that I will not be accepted. And not gossiping. For a woman, it's painful. It's embedded in us to talk. You know, it's how we are. Not gossiping and being fearless. Okay, don't accept me. But I'm doing a favor to myself. I want to change. Is painful. So pain does not mean pain like a physical pain. Pain is emotional pain. Pain is a moral pain. You know, anything that puts pressure on your chest and your head is painful.
Parul, what you've shared today is actually very powerful, and probably people can self-reflect and figure out. Now they have a cue.
Yeah.
To figure out that this could be the cause and that is the effect because of that, and that is the change which they need to bring into their life to elevate their entire karma and faith. But thank you so much, because you've made it so simple, and it's always so elevating, to meet you and understand these points.
Yeah, I'm also learning through the way, it might be funny to a lot of people. They must be thinking, अच्छा जाती है, बनारस जाती है, आके no. The learning is immense. Now this is faith. See, you just asked me. I don't go to Banaras for the heck of it. You remember when you went to Banaras, you told me, oh, spiritually I could not discover anything. Can I tell you one thing? You could not discover your own self. You have to be present to the city to discover something in yourself. Maybe you have to elevate yourself more for God to really, out of these millions of people, to look at you that, okay, you're my special one, please come here, I want you to change. Now self-reflect and see, why could not I find anything over there? Am I ready for that change? Am I really ready? And can I also tell you one thing? When you spiritually become more powerful, when you start believing in God more, when you start living with a hope that God is there, then pain increases to a level you cannot imagine. Every second of your life is a challenge. But it's God's way of relieving you of that pain forever. But the challenges are more. As I'm becoming spiritually more inclined towards God, as I believe more in God, and as I worship Shiva more, my challenges are increasing. अगर मैं ये कहूँगी नहीं जी मैं तो बहुत शांत हूँ और मैं बिल्कुल अब अपने उसमें हूँ, no.
Yeah, one door opened, new dimensions opened.
It's difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's not easy. As you keep getting closer to God, it's very difficult. And see, there are two ways of getting closer to God. One is superficial way. I go to the mandir every day. I sit and do aarti every day. I sit and do puja every day. I'm lighting a jyot every day. That's a very non-fundamental way of worshipping God. More realistic way of worshipping God is, maybe I don't light a jyot. Maybe I don't worship the temple every day. But I'm aware of my actions. I'm aware of my intentions. I'm aware of my feelings. And I make sure my feelings don't hurt anyone. If you're sitting next to me, you're comfortable. I make you feel warm. I make you feel welcome. I make you feel not feel void of the love and care. I make you feel more respected. You know, I make you feel that you belong to me. I'm there. That's, you're more close to God now. But I'm lighting a jyot or a diya every day. I'm going to the mandir. I'm doing satsang every day. But when I meet you and I make you feel I'm not there, I'm in a more diplomatic state, basically, more politically correct state. I'm not myself. You know,
Then what's the point?
it's not the point. You are living a very superficial way of being close to God. You're nowhere there in His list also. You're nowhere there. You want to be close to Him, you have to start practicing all these things. You, for example, I'm a very nice person. I don't say anything wrong. I don't do anything wrong. I have no bad habits. I just go to work, come back home. And yeah, I'm just a nice person, right? Overall, I don't say any mean words to anybody. I'm in my work, in my professional career, I'm very, very authentic and I'm very, clean. When I come home, I have a habit of cornering my wife. I have a habit that I don't make her include in anything, whatever I'm doing in my life. If I'm in my own circle of friends, I corner my wife, right? If I'm I'm always envious of my wife, even between the children. That, the children listen more to the mother and less to me. Or, you have these little habits. I'm just telling you basic things which will never make you a better human being. The minute you do this to me, or anybody for that matter, you have created a wrong cause. You've created a karma for yourself. You will never be happy. What you're doing at home, somebody else will do it to you somewhere else. And it will be 10 times harder. You might think that little feeling, that little, hurt is very little. And you might feel, मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया. सिर्फ बोलना करना नहीं होता. करना ज़्यादा बड़ा होता है. Every time you're cornering a person in your house, मतलब मैं आपको छोटी बिहेवियर बता रही हूँ कि कहाँ से प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं, राइट? और आप कह रहे हो कि मैं तो बहुत ही अच्छा इंसान हूँ, मैं तो कुछ कहता ही नहीं किसी को, मैं तो कुछ गलत नहीं करता, मैं गलत बोलता नहीं हूँ, मैं पैसे अच्छे कमाता हूँ, मेरी दुनिया में सबसे बनी हुई है. But when you get back home and you do this to your spirit, soul partner, it's like the most intense relationship on this planet right now is between a husband and a wife. It's the most purest source of showcasing relationship today. जब आप ये करते हो ना, वो जो हर्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हो ना आप, वो आपने कहीं बाहर जाके चोरी करी होगी ना, उससे 10 टाइम्स बड़ा कर्मा क्रिएट करा. ये मत करो, आप चोरी कर, वो फिर भगवान माफ कर देगा. बट जो पेन, जो हर्ट आप क्रिएट कर रहे हो ना किसी के मन में, वो भगवान कभी माफ नहीं करे. उसका कर्मा आप अगले 10 लाइफ टाइम में पे करोगे. जिस दिन आपने किसी को हर्ट करना बंद कर दिया, किसी को बुरा फील कराना बंद कर दिया, वो कर्मा नेगोशिएट हो गया between you and God. So always choose authenticity over attachment.
Lovely words. And I think they will go a long way in making us realize that how we can, reflect and behave well.
Yeah. I really feel that, a lot of people around me I can help, but I think people are not ready to. They've not arrived.
Probably this small sharing what you've done on our podcast will, at least if it impacts even one life, I think that is more powerful than anything else.
I really hope. Through my work, I do this a lot. I land up, वही कहते हैं ना, जो बाहर वाले लोग होते हैं वो ज़्यादा वैल्यू करते हैं. So through my work,
Because you're not expecting anything.
yeah, they're not expecting. So through my work, I meet so many people, and when I'm doing makeup on them, we exchange a lot of energy. While I'm working on them, because I'm the closest to your body and your face right now. So just imagine how much radiation is
Being transformed.
being transferred. So that minute, a lot of people suddenly grasp my energy, because now when I do makeup, it's always Om Namah Shivaya, 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 like this happening. And the reason is, मेरा एक भी हाथ का stroke गलत था. Intentionally, unintentionally. मेरे हाथ में, मेरी उंगलियों में, मेरे ब्रश में हर जगह शिव होए कि वो सही जगह पर जाके लगे. मेरी किसी भी फीलिंग में malice ना. And I start with the feeling that, okay, she has to look the most beautiful person today. My intentions are clear. You might not like it, is probably a different story altogether, but my intentions are clear right now. I have to give my best. So when so much is passing through my body and between my client, believe you me, it just takes me 20 minutes maximum when I start for the client to open up with me.
True.
And they do open up. And they talk and they share. And there's so much conversation that happens in those 3 hours that, believe you me, I mean, little that I can charge them that minute. I don't know how long will they remember it. But yeah, I mean, I just feel that I've sown the seed.
I get a point.
I've just sown the seed. Now it's their karma.
True.
How they take it forward.
True.
So yeah, I'm also learning, to be very honest. I'm really learning. I'm learning it the hard way. But yeah, I am learning.
I think learning is always the hard way.
It's always. That's what I'm saying, that one of my friends gifted me this book which is called Fear is Your Friend. So we have to make sure that fear is our friend. And fear is nothing but pain.
True. It is the cause and effect.
And the only teacher. So for example, you're walking, and you're just walking blindly. You'll fall. So when you'll fall, you'll get hurt. So when you get hurt,
You learned.
you learn now that I have to walk mindfully, not mindlessly. That's the difference. That's where the transformation will come in life. When you realize that I have to be mindful of everything. You're a good human being, but your mindless will never make you a good human being. Try harder.
So thank you so much, Parul. It's always a pleasure.
I know it will, I never feel I'm here for something like this. I always feel I'm talking to my friend, my long lost friend. Since